Hello, what's up? Beautiful world.
Yeah, it is. Very grateful to be here today, to be able to meet up together.
Yeah, it's a really pretty day again.
Mm.
We have had some really pretty weather lately. So, yeah, you gonna do this?
Your turn.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm
I don't know. I mean,
good.
what do you have happening with you in your mind? Like, what you.
Well,
I mean, we've been thinking so many
we
different things.
no, I think that something that has been kind of on the forefront is, uh, I guess, watching these people online. I've been doing a lot of just, I called it Eastern philosophy last time. I've been doing a lot of the Western, just reaching out into all different facets of spirituality, and uh, something that I've seen among a lot of people that seems to be really a common thing is they all start out their online presence with these goals. And we've mentioned before that we haven't done any of that. It doesn't mean anything, but what I see most of these people coming to or arriving at is like they reach these certain numbers, and the ones that are really growing spiritually and really embracing what they're teaching, or not even teaching but learning as they do this, is they all realize that it just doesn't matter. The numbers and the goals and reaching these benchmarks, that's not what it's about. And another thing that I've seen, that's one in specific that I watched last night, but I've seen a few of them, is the process of learning. Whenever the spirit is part of it, we are learning. Like in the past, you talked about feeling preachy or whatever, and it's not that we're preaching to anybody else. We are preaching to ourselves. We're teaching ourselves. We are learning as we do this. So it's not like we didn't sit back and come up with a whole bunch of different topics we'll do this one this day, this one this day. We just, and it always seems like a topic does kind of just arrive.
Mm-hmm.
And that one today is goals, in my opinion. The way that it's important to have those goals, and we discussed that. But whenever we are in the process of moving towards those goals and achieving whatever goal we've set, it's important to realize that it is not ours. It's not ours to control. It is all in His time. So, stopping, and so I don't reach a goal today because God put something into my life that was more important to do. It's important that we stay in His will, that we stay surrendered to life.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been huge on goals. Throughout my life, whenever I've done certain things, like I was with Mary Kay for a little while, and we would have, we would have goals that we would reach for, and stuff. But they don't excite me for some reason. Like, and I think it's because I'm so just like, whatever happens is what's going to happen. I mean, I have at different times in my life, I've planned big functions and events, and to the minute, like, and want it to go a certain way, and I've given like my all to planning. And as soon as our feet hit the ground, that first moment, it's like I just release it and let it go. And it's so incredible the way that God, he creates something so much bigger than anything that we can plan for ourselves.
Yeah, it could go completely different, but it goes 100 times better than you planned it.
Absolutely. And something else you said about sharing on here, you know, I mean, I have all sorts of thoughts. I mean, I have the greatest sermons in my head to myself, and it's so amazing the way whenever we'll record and then I'll be watching to make little reels and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't even remember most of the stuff I say.
I know.
Or what you say, and I'm like, I learned so much from myself. You know, over the past week, like last week,
through
we
the
talked
Spirit,
about.
we learn so much. So much passes through us.
Yeah, like last week we talked about having patience, and then we also talked about surrendering, and so that's just been really strong on my mind over this past week since we were talking about it, and I've been practicing it more and more in my life, and it's just, I mean, and I keep saying it, it just brings me so much peace in my day. Like, I'm just not in a hurry. Like, I don't know, there's just, and I've said that before, I don't want to repeat myself every time, but
well, we
it's
might.
just but it's just as I'm learning a new way of living. Like, this is the stuff that we're talking about, like, we are practicing these things, you know, and it's something
them.
and so we're sharing with y'all as we're learning these things. It's not like we're like all perfect at it. We're telling y'all how to do it. You know, we're living it and we're doing
awesome.
it. Yeah, it really is.
And after the one that we just did on was it patience? No, surrender. When we were done, like driving home from Baton Rouge, the whole time we kept talking about the things about surrender, and it's like, man, there was so much more we could have said.
Yeah, we
did. We could have really gone on
for like 2 hours. Yeah.
But surrender, I mean, it's like all these things are so connected, you know, the surrender part, goals, and you know, I set these goals. I've been working on some goals now that I'm at this point in my life where it's either I fill my time with something new or I'm just kind of bored, you know. I've spent a lot of time in the past spending time doing things that just weren't conducive to growth, but I have been setting goals, and I'm good with that. You know, I'm good with setting goals. I have no I don't have any holdups about it, but while I do it, my purpose is completely different than it's been in the past. My intentions, like, I want to achieve my goals. It's so important to achieve goals because it's that process of you achieve a small goal and then your next one's a little bigger and bigger. But
I don't know.
But I don't have to get caught up in the outcome, in the results.
Right.
And I'm not saying goals anybody needs to, but with a business, you know, I guess it's not even a goal. It's like okay, I'm going to do this for an hour.
Like growth.
Yeah. I'm going to do this specific thing for an hour, and the outcome is out of my hands. If God wants something to happen, well, then he'll allow it to happen. If he wants my business to completely fold, he has something better for me, you know, and it's not there.
I think sometimes with goals we can get into the mindset of control.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
sure.
we want to reach this certain point by this certain time, and it causes so much anxiety.
Step on another's head.
It can create so much unnecessary
competition with everybody.
Yeah.
Contention, you know, that competition thing.
I mean, it can be good,
yes.
I think, you know, because we're very competitive. Like, we've always been competitive.
It has its role, but I don't need to be competitive with
to show you up, to be better than
I'm more spiritual than you, you know?
Right.
I'm growing faster than you.
Yeah.
I'm here and you're there. There's no room for comparing myself to anybody else, because we are all on our own path, you know, and you see and hear people, only God can judge me, you know. It's for me to judge anybody in this world is just not, it's just not it's not me. I mean,
Yeah. So this last week, I had an experience. I had a day, and at the end of my day, I was thinking about the things that I had done throughout that day and ways I could improve myself, and and I realized I had done some things that day that was just like, yeah, like I really wish that I had not done it, and so I was laying there praying and just asking God, I was like, please help me to be better. Help me to do better. And the Spirit was so strong. It taught me that I was praying for the wrong thing.
nice.
Like I think to myself, I need to be better. I'm constantly, I need to be better than what I am. But the Spirit was like, I'm praying for the wrong thing. I need to be praying for the recognition and the understanding that I am already enough. Right how I am, like I don't have to be better. Like that implies that I'm not good. Like I'm lacking. I'm not good enough. And so I was like, it was such an awesome experience to recognize that the Spirit was teaching me how to pray. Like I was praying for the wrong thing. Like there's nothing I can do to be better. It's such a way of thinking, like I have to do more and be more than what I am. Like
Just another lie that we tell ourselves.
I'm just good.
Yeah. I just took one of those wonderful deep breaths. It felt so good. Not as out of topic, but I've talked about you with that before. I mean, the watching other people doing podcasts and stuff, that Kyle Cease in particular, like he makes it an intention, a purpose to stop and say, take a deep breath. And he'll do it with us, And it's like, it just feels so good. Yeah, let go of that negative energy. Let go of that judgment. Let go of those things that just aren't necessary. It's not necessary, that competition with ourselves. And I have always been, in the past, the goal setting thing. I mean, it was to the point where it was get out of my way, I've got to walk faster, I've got to do more, and I'm going to reach my goals no matter what. If I'm interrupting somebody at 10 p.m. at night, knocking on their door, I don't care, because I'm reaching my goal, And it was really successful when it comes to the monetary or, reaching goals. But as a person, it had absolutely no room. It left no room for me to be present for God, for me to be present for anybody other than myself. And that was all that mattered. The only thing that mattered to me was that I get up, I reach my goals, and I go to bed. And I was living like this: wake up, pray, scripture study, go to work, reach my goals, be thankful. And I was living like a pretty good life. This was like 20 years ago. I was living a good life, but I had no room for spiritual growth. I did not allow the Spirit to guide my life in any way because I was so rigid in setting those goals. So if I'm going to say I'm turning my life over, I am surrendering to my higher power, then I have to be willing to change anything at any given moment of the day and say, no, that's what God wants me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop. I need to go and do what the Spirit has asked me to do, whether that's a person or whatever. The Spirit can present. I know the Holy Ghost isn't that person, but the Holy Ghost communicates through people to me, you know. And if I'm just too set in my ways and I don't have time for you right now because I have to reach my goal, and I've completely lost the purpose of my life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and goals also, to me, I think how it's kind of had like a negative thing for me is that goals have kind of been tied to recognition. You know, it's like if I reach this goal, then, you know, I'm going to get the recognition. I'm going to get the applause.
Number one
I'm going
or
to get
3 in the nation in sales.
Because I would, with Mary Kay, like I was always number one. Like
In
I
the
wanted
top
to
10
be
at
number
least.
one.
Yeah.
And so it's like I had the crown on my head. I had the
Yeah.
jewelry. I had like all of the rah-rah accomplishments, the applause that, you know.
Presentation.
but
You're
it-
awesome.
Yeah, but it was never, it just didn't excite me. Like I didn't love that. And I think that I've always kind of like connected that because I did that in my early 30s. So I've connected goals with that. And I don't know, I like I said, I'm such a free flowing, like, you know, whatever happens is what's going to happen, and it's whatever God wants to happen. And
Yeah,
you know,
I
mean,
actually,
and I recognize the importance of, you know, having things in your life that you're aiming for and reaching for.
I remember when you were in that point in your life with Mary Kay, and that was the same time that I was in the middle of my summer sales, door to door, 16 hours a day.
Oh yeah,
Just
It
not
was 24/7.
going 24/7 for you, and we were both very good at doing what we were doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was nothing.
It felt shallow.
It did.
I think is,
My main purpose was, what can I get from this person? I was never on a mission to help other people, you know? Yes, what I was selling does help, you know? It definitely, but the sell was more important than, can this person afford it, or
right.
am I interrupting them? Am I being a burden or whatever? You know, it was my goal, and I would say a lie to reach that goal. I was never. My lies had some truth to them.
Oh no, I did too. I did.
You know?
I did some things also.
Just
that were
not
very
ethically right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, it just felt wrong. No, it wasn't a straight out lie, but it just didn't feel.
I got some debt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, and I will continue to set goals. I'll continue to acknowledge benchmarks in my life, moments of success, but the true success comes on those day to day, you know, the surrendering and the being present now. I can write down my goal, and writing that goal down and letting it go and just knowing that it's there, and then coming back a month later and doing inventory and saying, okay, I reached that goal, setting new goals. It is important for my industry, you know, for what I do, but it's not my true purpose in life, you know. I love the feeling of knowing that I have, and it's another Kyle Cease video that we just shared with each other this past week, you know. It's I'm not seeking anymore for, like, what's my purpose in life, you know. My purpose in life is to grow. My purpose in life is to be present for who needs me. My purpose in life is to just be better, and to...
We are our purpose. Like,
Yeah,
just
exactly,
breathing
exactly.
is, I'm in purpose by being right here with you at this moment. I'm in purpose.
That's exactly
By being with
right.
my husband, whatever we're doing, that is my purpose.
Yeah.
With, that's whenever you stop chasing, like searching for what is my purpose? Why am I here? You're here to be here.
Yeah. Right now, this is my purpose, and we are living it to the best. What is your mission? Well, your mission, your purpose is to do what you're doing right now with intention.
The best that you can.
Yeah. And to do it with that intention, not just to be present for it, life, not just to wake up and be here, it's like
existing.
Yeah, just existing and
Surviving.
getting through it. I got through another day. No, how beautiful, I got to live another day and to be here and to experience this life, because my one of my sister right above me, she said, this is it, we've got however many years to live and to be happy. And she's right. This is all we have, is now. This life is the only time that we're going to experience mortality. This is the only time that we will ever wake up and think, this could be the day I die. This could be it. And I don't wake up thinking that. There was a time in my life I did, but it's just beautiful. Life is beautiful. Goals are good to have, but to stay on our purpose, to stay with our eye on Him, and to be present for the human race, to love others, I read a comment on one of your things that you said about just smiling at somebody or giving somebody a compliment, and they said, well, don't do it fake, and be sure to do it. And yeah, that's totally right. There's just so much good that I could say about anybody. I don't have to search for a compliment to give somebody, because there's just, everybody is so unique and so special that it's just not hard to be nice. I love being nice. I love being somebody that is kind. Yes. We can get into that another time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that topic. Yeah, because that's a good one.
Being kind, and being kind to myself, and just knowing that it's all good.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Life is good, I didn't end up in the dream job that I had, and but I am in the dream life that I've always wished to have. Today I am. Today and a lot of people can say, yeah, right, he's so full of crap. No, I really, today, I am living a life that I never imagined. I never imagined that this would be my life. It just didn't.
Yeah.
But it is so beautiful. It's what God has given me today. And to be alive, to be able to live with a purpose, on intention, and to be able to surrender all those things that we've talked about that I've accumulated in my life. And it's so new, it's not like I'm just talking and saying the same thing that it's not about getting clean. It's not about getting sober and fighting this disease and fighting mental illness. I mean, we've done that. We've done it for years. I've done the self-help thing for decades. I mean,
yeah.
That was a very important part of our lives, and
but
we
now
learned
it's
a
living
ton.
it. now it's living it every day. And I
It's
just,
just
I know.
I
It's so-
always knew that I wasn't living it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'd read all these books and it's like I know that to be true. It's so right. But I could not grasp the living it. And if I picked up, which I still actually have a few spirituality self-help books that I love. Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, the Dalai Lama. There are a lot of Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements guy. You know, there are so many wonderful spiritual gurus, I'll call them, out there that have so much to share with us, and I love it. I love those things. But it's not, I don't read them now to learn about how can I help myself, because that's decades now.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, what can I get from this in applying it and getting better at living it?
Yeah. One of the videos that we were watching yesterday with Kyle Cease, he said something about having God, having him as your partner, having him as your companion, having him there, because he can see everything. He sees everything, and he's like got the GPS that can guide us, in our lives. And it's just second to second. I mean, it's constantly just having him directing us. And I said it in the last one. It's like, if it's not a number 10, then it's not his will, and it's just, it feels so good to constantly, and I don't know why I haven't caught this until now, I feel like
now's
I've been,
when you needed
well,
to.
they're right. That's one thing, not being hard on ourselves about what we didn't know in the past. I'm so grateful that I recognize it today, that I can surrender every morning, just surrender what my day is going to be like. And I have plans, I had plans throughout my day, but
Those were your goals and you achieved them.
right, yeah. And it's just not being in a hurry for stuff, and being kind, like you said, to people out whenever I'm out and about, and smiling, and just being a light for other people, in their days. Because a lot of people are just really caught up in the world, just in the hustle and bustle and the rushing and having to do this and that. And, it just feels so anxious.
And there's no time to even surrender.
Right.
You're so caught up in doing, and it's like, nobody has to be that way. Nobody does. No matter how
really
busy
don't.
you are, you could be the busiest person in the world, but you can find time slowing down and surrendering your life. Somehow you just have so much more time. I don't have to rush. I can schedule 20 appointments and do them all and not be honking and go. I mean, just
and flipping a bird at people because
you're
right.
But I do have to go, and if God's will says no, you need to do something else, then I can reschedule an appointment. And usually people are very, very understanding, because if I am living my life according to His will, then things do come up. And I am very happy to have the opportunity to be on God's errand, to all of a sudden, okay, well, I'm not going to make money this hour, but I am going to be able to do something for somebody that might change their life forever. You can't measure that with $1. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love y'all, and it is so important to live right now, to be present, and to have intention, not just experience this thing called life, but to actually be present for it, and we have so much more time whenever we are living in His time, in His will, and allowing Him to take over our life. It's like, I used to think about Dad, just last thing, and all the things that he would seem to do in a day. And it's like, how did you do all that? But it all happens because God makes the path for you when you're on His errand. It's like all the red lights are green and my tank's full of gas and I don't need to use the restroom. Nothing, I mean, everything is just flowing, and it's so peaceful. It is so peaceful to know that we are doing His will.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in this world that could convince me that what I'm doing is not something that I should be doing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is so amazing because just 2 or 3 years ago, I was not where I am today. Like, I was in
2 months ago.
major, well, I was in a major depression. I was
yeah.
like not thinking. I was caught up in just all of my thoughts and just everything that was going on in my life and in my world. And it was just too much. And it was, but like
a whole different shift.
Yeah, because I mean, I still have a lot of stuff in my life, but it's just not, the way that I approach things is so different. So I'm not drinking every day to escape what was going on in my life, It's just like, now I'm drinking a lot of water, and it just feels better. It just feels better to.
It does. It's that paradigm shift.
Yeah, and it is, and anybody can do it, and that was my point, is that where I was a few years ago to where I am today, and that's one thing too, is that it does take time. It takes time. It's having patience with ourselves in the process, and just every day we get a new chance, to start again. And I love it.
Takes time. It takes work, but your worthiness does not take time. Your worth to God and your value it's amazing. You don't have to wait around to receive self-worth or to know that you're good in God's eyes. All you got to do is just accept Him into your life, and everything can change immediately. Yes, it does take time to grow and to learn and to not get caught up in those triggers that you talk about, and there is a process, but who we are it's who we are. It's immediate. You don't have to seek it. You don't have to go find that worthiness. Like I said, you're there. Just love yourself.
You're enough. We're enough right as we are.
Love yourself. And I need to continue to love myself every day, and just accept that sometimes things are just not going to go how I wanted them to, but I'm learning that they always go better when they go not how I wanted them to. I look forward to right now. I look forward to now. And there is just so much wonderful stuff on the internet. So many wonderful people that are just sharing so much truth and so much enlightenment. And I'm so grateful that we can be a part of that, even if it's just a couple people or 1,000 people or whatever, I love it. I love being able to be a conduit of good, and I know what it is that I feel, I never thought I could feel peace. I never thought that I could feel comfortable here now. I was always going, moving, seeking something new. But right now, I'm good with where God has me. But I know that I'm not good, as in, like, I'm good. I
Right.
got this. I do not have this. And I'm so grateful that I have no desire to have it. It's His. Take it. I don't want it. I don't want the control.
Yeah.
What a wonderful blessing it is not to have that.
It is.
I love y'all. Love you always. If y'all have any questions, if you have anything, anything about anything, just send us a message, make a comment, whatever. I love this world, and I will say it again and again. All I want is to help the next person, and life is good.
It is.
Live on purpose, live with intention, and you will have all the time you need to do all those things that we feel like we have to get done. They just get done. The bills get
And
paid.
if it
and
doesn't, then it didn't need to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, truly.
All that God has for us will get done if we allow Him. If we open our door and allow Him in, He's going to rearrange everything, and you might want to take it back, but
Just let him do it.
it is so much better on the other side. You just got to go through it. Yeah. Love you.
Good.
Love y'all.
Alright.
Life is good. And see you soon.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.